Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. Standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. Seated next to Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, this one featuring a couple of playoff teams from a season ago, back at it again in 2019.
And we both felt the confidence from both of these teams, right? They feel like they will be back in the playoffs again, but they shouldn't be overconfident. 7 teams last year made the playoffs that didn't make it the previous year, so you're not assured of going back year after year.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. A first carry for Christian McCaffrey, who made his first Pro Bowl last year. Fighting through it, he's got space. And all the way down to the 26. A big play there on the first play of the game. 41 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in the loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it. It looks exactly as it did just a week ago.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. On the ground, McCaffrey. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Texan first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Hey, Foxtrot.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. DK Metcalf. His second touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen, and it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. They'll be led out by the runner-up for last year's MVP award, now in his 19th season, Drew Brees.
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
Marlon Humphrey with the tackle defensively. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelsey now, not Travis, his brother who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. On the counter, here's Gordon. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Shotgun now for Breeze. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down, it's Gordon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They need to make up some ground, and they did.
Gets it to Gordon. And he's going to come up a few yards short of the 1st. They get him to the ground at the 37.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Charles, 54 yards. I'm surprised that came up short.
I would agree with that one because normally, if he misses, it's accuracy, not length, because he has plenty of leg for that. But maybe it's like I hit my golf shot, you know, maybe it's like my wedge. You know, when you chili dip and you hit the ground ahead of it, sometimes that'll shorten your distance as well.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down, McCaffrey. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the 1st down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. 23 yards, the final tally.
60 Pittsburgh. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. He lost 6 there on the 1st down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
2nd and long. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
56, the mock boy, 56. Check, 56. Hey, let's get him home. Right, 56. 56.
Now back to throw. And he's got it. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. Christian McCaffrey with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. Well, that turned out how they wanted. Run the toss play to the left side, go for that pylon, get in there.
And just being able to understand where the pylon was and sneak it in there, well done, well executed.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the last play on the drive, the touchdown run from Christian McCaffrey. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Samson Abukum came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Yeah, they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. This is Gordon. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it.
Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
That's taken on the 25.
Defense.
Now, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
This is McCaffrey. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. Now after the play, it looks like there's a Texan here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Get that quarterback, D-line. Get that quarterback, D-line. D-line, get that quarterback. Get it.
Now a first carry for their fullback. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5.
Oh, yeah.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd.
Hey, high 7. 56.
He'll look to throw. He will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback. No matter the situation in there, the defense won the battle.
We got this.
NFL kickers nowadays, they make things look so easy because normally from this range, About 2 out of 3, and this is not an easy kick.
Yeah, 20 years ago, you get where he was in that 50 range, maybe a little over, and it's a big kick, but now if they leave it short, you're like, whoa, what happened? And that's nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Well executed there on 2nd down, so do you go back to the air on 3rd?
Well, that's a possibility, but now you've opened up things to where you showed that you would run the ball in long-distance situation. You might come back again because I doubt they believe you'll do it a 2nd time.
He's going deep for Brown, and that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. Mike Evans and the rest of the offensive unit heading back out there now. 2nd quarter here. He has only 1 catch, but they have the lead. You got to think there's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Yeah, well, so far, just the single catch. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
25 yards that time.
Let's go. 60 outlaw.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate. I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. On 2nd down now. Swift. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. A gain there of 21 yards. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Hey, Alpha. Mott's 56. Mott's 56.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Flushed out right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
Hey, wahoo! 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Focus, defense, focus. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
2nd and 13. And he's going to go down again. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. So we reach half. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 11 now. Breeze, the intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. But now it's 3rd down. He released that awkwardly. It almost looked like a pitcher who gripped his fastball a little too hard and let it go late, and it bounced in front of the plate.
Yeah, one of those fastballs that ends up at 57 feet, not 60 feet, 6 inches. Just a little short with the arm, which is unusual because we saw him in warm-ups. He's got a big, strong arm when he delivers it with confidence.
That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down.
Ready? You ready? Watch the run. They're running it. Switch, switch, switch.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And finally taken down at the 15. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You ain't doing nothing today. You ain't doing nothing today.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Watching that run takes me back to something a famous old coach once said. Any player he wants on his team, he wants him to be agile, mobile, and most definitely hostile.
I'm coming after you. 56 to Mike. 56. Bravo. Keep it up, defense. Here we go. Mike 56. Mike.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston. George Kittle with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Texans push further out in front. What a great weapon. So often, such a big mismatch.
And there's no route he can't run. You name it, he's going to do it, and he's a matchup nightmare for the defense. No matter who they put on him, he's going to win the battle.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays, and the result, a Houston touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. From the 39, Breeze. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 38-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On first down, Gordon. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 36, Breeze got a man. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 24-yard line. Breeze now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. To throw, it's Breeze. Sets up the screen to Gordon. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Able to get this to Gordon. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Breeze to throw for it on 4th. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Khalil Mack. And this Texans defense stands tall. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing. And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we can get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit. Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Let's go, D.
They'll keep it on the ground. Swift And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. So that'll back them up 5.
Still first down.
The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Pull it high. Joker, 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 joker. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Mike 56, Mike 56. Here we go, D. Anxious, ready.
Back to throw here. And this is caught by Evans. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
On second down, Swift. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning.
Right there, 54, right there, 54.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Going to throw right side here, complete. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Guys, it's game situation.
Now a give, right side. Swift. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal.
Hey, orbit. Wide, get wide. Back, back, back. X3, 218, chopper. Check 37. And ready. Shoot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Clear. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike. He don't know no better. Get it.
And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. It's the fullback. His third touchdown now on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this fourth quarter. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
You kill!
From the gun, it's Breeze. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Breeze to throw. That's complete. It's Gordon. Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. The Texans here on third down putting an extra defender in the secondary. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. He gets it to Brown, complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. So Houston going to come away here with the victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Texans, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3, and they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.